Hello, Tibbetts families. It's Principal Frost coming to you with another edition of our famous Tibbetts Bookflix program. Bookflix is Tibbetts staff's opportunity to share some of our favorite books with you in video format, similar to Netflix. We hope that you enjoy all of these. We do this each and every year in collaboration with Read Across America Day, which many of our classes celebrated yesterday, as well as our Tibbetts PTA's book swap, which should have allowed many of your students to come home with brand new books on Tuesday. So if you get a chance to check out some of our videos, please send back the feedback cards that your students are bringing home with them today. If you do so by Friday, March 17th, let us know what your favorite Bookflix was. We are going to enter those or put those slips into a drawing, and we're going to give away a copy of each of the books to different students by Friday, March 24th before spring break. My story this year is called The Smart Cookie. It's by Jory John and Pete Oswald. They're the same authors that wrote the books The Bad Seed and The Couch Potato. I know many of our students love those. The Smart Cookie is about a cookie who learns that he doesn't always have to be perfect and confident in order to be considered smart. So here we go. Smart Cookie by Jory John and Pete Oswald. Greetings, I'm a cookie. I live in a bakery on a street corner near a river. Come on in. Welcome to our little community. It's a warm and supportive place to spend time. Pretty fantastic, eh? These days, life is sweet, but my journey wasn't always a cakewalk. When I was younger, I couldn't have imagined fitting in here. For a long time, I didn't feel comfortable speaking up or sharing my ideas. I didn't feel like a smart cookie. I wanted to be a cookie who knew all the answers, a cookie who felt confident in a group, a cookie who said aha when solving a puzzle, like this, aha. Looking back, I had some trouble in my early days. I went to school in a gingerbread house. Our teacher, Miss Biscotti, was kind and patient when I arrived each morning. She'd wave at me and smile. But I didn't get the best grades, and I never raised my hand because I couldn't think of the answers as fast as everyone else. And I was the last to finish most of my tests. It wasn't because I didn't care, and it wasn't because I didn't try. Sometimes I just get distracted and mess up. Even though I knew the material, those were the most frustrating moments of all. Once I misspelled the word dough. That was rough. And another time I added when I meant to subtract. And occasionally we'd have a lesson where I had absolutely no idea what was happening. I just couldn't keep up. I imagined that my desk was a raft and that I was completely lost at sea because that's what that felt like. At night, I slept in a cookie jar. I had about 6 dozen roommates. Hey, you move. No, you move. Move. No, you move. I'd stay awake and stare out the window and worry. And it went this way day after day after day. But then something that happened that changed everything. It all started with a homework assignment. Miss Biscotti requested our attention one afternoon. Tonight, I'd like you to create something completely original, she announced. It can be anything you want, and please bring it to class tomorrow. That was it. There was no further instructions. Miss Biscotti winked at me. As I gathered my belongings. I felt like I had a million butterflies in my stomach. Create anything? Something original? Due tomorrow? Gulp. When I got home, I immediately went to work. First, I tried a cooking project. The results were half-baked. Next, I tried to hammer and nail something. It splintered completely. Then I tried making a sculpture. It was a complete bust. I wondered if I was about to fail yet again at another assignment. I was stuck. I stared out the window. I watched the rain hit the river. There was something mesmerizing about the water, how it moved in such a chaotic way, swirling around and around, yet ultimately figuring out exactly where it needed to go. Suddenly, I had an idea. I decided to write something original. Aha! A poem. I came up with a title based on how I'd been feeling, My Crummy Days. After that, the rest of it seemed to fall into place. I wrote and I wrote. I lost track of time and an hour went by in a flash. Aha, I said when I was finished. I couldn't sleep that night, but it wasn't because I was worried. It was because I was excited. I felt like I really accomplished something. I felt smart. The following day, Miss Biscotti asked for volunteers to share what we had created. One kid showed off his original frosting art. Another kid revealed her sprinkle distribution machine. And it was neat seeing how everyone was good at something different. Finally, Miss Biscotti turned to me. Would you like to share something? She asked. Gulp. I gulped. I thought I'd probably crumble under the pressure, but I made my way to the front of the classroom. I noticed my hands were shaking, my mouth went dry. This poem is called My Crummy Days, I said, my voice cracking, and then I read it loud. As I spoke, I noticed some kids nodding at certain lines. Other kids laughed at parts that were supposed to be funny. As I built toward the finale, I felt myself becoming more confident and animated. And in the end, everyone clapped and cheered. I promise you this, I will never, ever forget it. Miss Biscotti was beaming. No one but you could have written that poem, she said. It was completely original. Aha! I had done it, created something and shared it with the world. Well, my world at least. The rest of the day was a blur. By recess, I had already planned my next poem. I would call it My Sweet Morning. Aha, I thought, when I came up with the title. Later that afternoon, Miss Biscotti handed me a note. It said that I should keep on writing no matter what. That meant so much to me. School was a bit different after that. I wasn't so scared to raise my hand or ask a question or share my work. Sure, some things still don't come as easy for me as they do for others, but now I know that you can be smart in many different ways. You don't have to have the answers to every question or suddenly be great at everything or all at once. You just need a chance to try all kinds of things to find out who you are and what you like to do. For me, I learned that I can write and I can think up great ideas, and I've found plenty of other things I'm good at too. I no longer feel lost at sea. It's more like floating down a river. And the best part is there's always more to learn because we are all smart cookies. The end.